Hello, this is Xiyue with Xinhua News Agency. We're now on Huangshan Mountain in East China's Anhui province. The altitude here is over 1,600 meters. You can see this tree behind me is probably one of the most famous trees in China. Look at its shape. It looks like a man extending his hand to welcome guests, hence the name Guest-Greeting Pine, which is believed to be over 1,000 years old. So for thousands of years, the tree has welcomed guests from all over the world. And how can this ancient tree stay healthy for generations? You can see that a scaffolding has been erected around this tree. Now a thorough physical examination is underway for this ancient tree. So how can the physical examination be taken on an ancient tree, and what are the experts gonna check here, and what equipment will they use? Today we have a real chance to take a close look at this ancient tree and see how the experts work here. Let's go. I believe you guys are also wondering as me that how to perform a physical examination for a tree. Now today we have invited Wei Jun. He is the engineer with the local management bureau of this Huangshan Mountain scenic area. 吴博士您好。
你好。
So first of all, I'm gonna ask him about the procedure of this physical examination. 吴博士，咱们给这个黄山松体检、迎客松体检主要有哪些过程和内容呢？
第一个就是检查它的一个色泽度、顶芽、冬芽的长度、梢头的长度、针叶数量、针叶长度。
So Dr. Wu told me that the first step is to check the color and the amount of the pine needles and the growth of the pine needles and also their branches. And I was told today that this is not the first time for this guest-greeting pine tree to take a overall physical examination. 吴博士，这个不是咱们第一次给迎客松全面的进行体检吧？
是的。
咱们这个迎客松是几年一次体检啊？这样？
我们从1998年开展第一次体检，每6年一次，截止到2022年呢，已经开展了5次的一个全面体检和综合保护工作。
So Dr. Wu told me that since the year 1998, they have done every 6 years they are done a overall comprehensive physical examination for this pine, and this year is the 5th overall physical examination of this guest-greeting pine tree. 那咱们这个体检保护这个整体的目的，您能不能给我们阐释一下？
主要就是促进迎客松的正常生长和延年益寿。
So Dr. Wu told me that the purpose of the physical examination is to ensure that this 1,000-year-old tree will grow in a healthy condition and to maintain it a healthy condition as long as possible to make sure the longevity of this pine tree. I was wondering what indicators they will be inspect during this physical examination. 博士，您刚刚提到的这些检查，咱们在过程中要注意查看哪些指标呢？
第一个就是顶芽的饱满度。第二个就是针叶的数量、针叶的长度，包括一个梢头的一个长度。
So Dr. Wu told me that they will check the plumpness of the buds of the pine needles and also the length of each pine needles and also their growth conditions. 那么咱们在这个检查过程中啊，我注意到还有一些就是针对这个松树的树皮呀，包括它树皮上附生的东西的检查，这些是主要为了查看哪些指标呢？
第一个随着整个树干和包括枝干上一些大的一个伤口缺刻，包括一些死结漏结，进行一个清理防腐，防止雨水和木腐菌的侵入。第二个是对地衣和苔藓类，就是及时的清除它们，防止一个湿度的过大，也是引起木腐菌的侵入。
明白。So Dr. Wu told me that they also need to check the bark and branches of the tree because as the tree has been living over 1,000 years, there are bound to be some fractures and wounds on this tree trunk and tree branches. So the fungi and the rainwater will easily get into the tree. So to prevent that, they need to check every crack on this tree, and also they need to prevent moss to grow on the tree because the moss will improve the moisture on this tree and may cause some damages to this tree. 您刚刚提到的这些检查过程，其实也会为我们的这个未来保护提供一个重要参考，对吗？
是的。
咱们这个会怎么样依据我们今天检查的指标制定一个未来的保护方案呢？或者说有哪些具体的方向是我们未来要注意的？
第一个就是根据检查的一个情况，包括今天检查的跟前10来年的一个数据进行一个对比，对它的一个生长状况进行一个评价。第二个，通过对整个树体这种伤口缺刻的一个检查，是否发现有新增的或者是没有的，能保证它的一个再次对它一个叫轻腐防腐处理，以后呢能够增加的一个机械强度吧。
明白。So Dr. Wu told me that their inspection today will provide an important basis for the overall protection plan for this gas grating pine tree. So first of all, they have data that lasts for over 10 years about this tree, about the condition of each branches and each cracks, so that they will have, based on the changes of the tree during these years, they will provide more strong support for the tree branches and more scientific protection plans for the tree. 谢谢吴博士今天给我们细致的介绍。Today we can see a lot of staff are working here to inspecting this pine tree. But actually there's a group of people on Huangshan Mountain who accompany and protect this gas grating pine tree day after day. Today we have Hu Xiaochun here with us. He is the 19th guardian of this pine tree. 胡老师您好。
我主要的工作是每天跟着索道，每天早上7点到晚上10点钟进行一个日常的，每隔2个小时进行一次巡护工作。
Okay.
主要是对应该说进行一个日常的一个监测和巡查巡护工作。
So Mr. Hu just told me his daily tasks here. So every day he starts his patrol here from 7 a.m. in the morning, and he patrols the tree and inspect the tree every 2 hours to make sure no danger conditions or no damages is happening to this tree. So I'm gonna ask him about his observation of this pine tree. 胡老师，就是您在这儿守松有多少年了呀？
我在这里守松有12年了。
So he has been accompanying this tree for 12 years as the 19th tree guardian. 那么胡老师，就是咱们在这个守松的过程中，您都会用到怎么样的设备和手段呢？
我们主要的设备有这个小型气象观测站，还有一个防侵入报警系统，还有我们手上提的一个望远镜和这个放大镜，主要是我们有这个4个的东西。
So Mr. Hu just told me about the equipment he uses every day to protect this gas grating pine tree. So there are basically a lot of facilities such as the telescope and the magnifier, and there are also some high-tech equipment here to protect the protect the health of the tree, to prevent any intruders, including people and animals. There is an infrared facility over there, and also to protect the tree from extreme weather such as heavy rain or snow or extremely low temperatures or high temperatures. There is a meteorological station over there. I believe that many of you are also wondering if this scaffold erected around this tree will have any effect on this ancient tree, and how do people to protect the tree as much as possible when inspecting the tree trunk and pine needles. So let's ask Mr. Hu. 胡老师，咱们这个检查和保护的过程中，包括脚手架是怎么样做到对树影响最小的呢？
这次搭建这个年检检测架，主要是对迎客松的一些日常的一个监测。搭建的过程中是严禁杆件与树体接触的，包括一些如果与树体非必要的接触情况下，我们会用保温棉进行一个保护的。
明白。So Mr. Hu told me that during the build-up of this scaffold, they need to be very careful, and there will be no touching between the scaffold and the tree. And if the scaffold get near to the tree branches, they must use very soft and thick insulation materials to protect the tree branches. And I believe you are also wondering what would affect the tree most during its growth every day. So let's ask Mr. Hu. 咱们这个树在日常的这个生长过程中，哪些因素是对它来说影响最大的？
主要的还是一个恶劣天气，还有一个就是 人为的情况下还好一点，就是恶劣天气情况下，主要是还有冻雨、台风、雷电，这是还有降雪天，这四个方面。
Mr. Hu told me that there are many major factors that will in fact affect the growth of the tree, and one of the most important factors is the weather. So some extreme weathers like freezing rain and heavy snow and low temperatures or heavy wind will have a strong impact on this tree, and there are also some other factors such as animals and the human activities. 您刚刚也提到说，除了这些天气哈，可能还有一些动物啊，包括人为的因素影响。
动物上面，我们为迎客松安装了一个防侵入报警系统，防止一些动物如猴子啊、松鼠啊，因为猴子是一个扒树皮的，对一个树皮表皮有一个影响。像松鼠，它是啃树皮呢，松鼠的牙齿在不断的生长，它还有不断在磨，这也对树皮造成一定的影响。特别我们在日常的情况下，我们都是就是把用食物投食油把它引到别的地方去，禁止在迎客松保护区内。
明白了。So Mr. Hu told me that animal is also another important factor in this area, and because the environment here is protected very well, there are many wild animals in the Huangshan Mountain scenic area, such as squirrels and monkeys. They may be cute, but they are a big influencer on the tree because the squirrels, they will bite the tree bark, and the monkeys, they will climb up the tree and maybe stretch or make some damages to the bark. So on the one hand, they have set up an infrared surveillance system to monitor any activities of these wild animals, and also they will provide food to these wild animals to attract them to somewhere else. So let's ask him about his observation of the changes of the tree in recent years. 在您看来，就是咱们迎客松现在的健康情况、整体情况怎么样？
非常的良好，包括我们现在的环山的保护精细化、规范化、科学化的一个管控下，迎客松的是越来越好的。包括我们游客的出行，环山的绿色保护更加的到位，更加的好。特别是在这么多年来下来，环山的变化是日新月异的。
So Mr. Hu just told me that he found this tree, the gas-grating pine tree's health condition is very well, and he also noticed that the protection of this tree is more and more comprehensive each year, and the concept for environmental protection of guests and the officials here is improving day by day. So he's very happy to see that this tree and the Huangshan Mountain as a whole is getting better and better. So I believe he sees this place as his home and the tree as his friend and family, and he's very happy to see these changes. And as a tree guardian, his daily work is mostly on the ground. 何老师，其实您每天的工作主要是在地面上巡查这个树，对吧？很少有能爬上这个树近距离看的机会。
是的，今年就是我们又近一次的近距离的跟迎客松进行了一个接触。
So Mr. Hu that told me that every several years there is this comprehensive physical examination for this gas-grating pine tree. So this is a special chance for him as well to take a close at the crown of the tree at a closer look. And today we also have a very special design and very special presenting for you in front of the camera, in front of our screen. We will make Mr. Hu take a camera for us and climb up the tree so that you can have a special look as well as if you were also climbing this tree up to see how the tree grows, to see Huangshan Mountain from this high altitude. So let's ask Mr. Hu to take this camera for us later. We have seen that the daily inspection and protection of this pine tree has been very meticulous. And today, this physical examination here has also invited experts from different disciplines to customize a comprehensive protection plan for this pine. And today, we are also very lucky to have one of the experts here to join our live streaming today. 舒教授您好。
Okay.
你好。So this is Dr. Shu. He is the leader of this expert team. 施教授，首先能不能请您给我们介绍一下咱们今天的主要的工作任务有哪些？
我们今天主要是给银河所进行这个定期的体检，就跟我们人一样。那么我们体检的这个任务主要是3个方面：第一个看树木生长状况是不是正常；第二个检查一下有没有这个病虫危害；第三个看这个树木生长是不是安全。
So Dr. Shu has just told me his major task and the major task of the team today for the pine tree. So the experts come here today to mainly examine the growth condition of this pine tree to see if there's any past damages and the growth condition and the strength of this pine tree. 那么施教授，据咱们专家组今天的观察哈，我们这个松树的生长情况怎么样呢？
今天观察以后呢，我们发现。 这个银河树目前生长非常正常，它的这个生长量和这个枝叶的颜色都比较好。
So I was just asking Dr. Shu about his observation of the tree, and he told me that the experts has got the conclusion that this gas-grading pine tree, although 1,000 years old, is very healthy with its strengths and conditions, and its pine needles is relatively green and strong. So let's ask Mr. Shu about the specialty of protecting this ancient tree. 舒教授，我听说就是保护咱们这棵迎客松和保护其他古树不一样，它的难度会更大，是吗？
它难度更大，它表现在3个方面。迎客松它主要是它的形象，这个树干的这个形状有美为这个特征，所以呢，我们一定要保护这个树干的每一个枝条，所以难度就比较大。
So Dr. Shu just told me that it is very special and difficult, relatively difficult, to protect the gas-grading pine tree because this tree is famous for its special shape. So every branch is very important, and you need to protect its shape exactly like it is because it is famous for its gas-welcoming shape. 咱们难度还体现在哪些？
第二个特点呢，就是这个树长在高海拔地区，风大，我们看这个地方是风口处。第二个呢，就是这个雪比较大，所以呢，这个容易受到这个气象灾害。
And Dr. Shu just told me that another reason for the difficulty of protecting this tree is that of this high altitude because we are over 1,600 meters high here. This tree is easily affected by extreme weather such as snow and rain and big wind.
这个第三个就是我们一种那个松树上一种疾病叫松菜新症病，现在呢离这个地方很近了，所以呢对我们这个危险很大。
The third factor is that there's a disease that is known as the cancer for pine trees, and the area it's affecting is relatively close to Huangshan Mountain. So the experts has to be extra careful to watch for that disease. I'm gonna ask Dr. Shu about his future plan, about the team's future plan for comprehensive protection of this pine tree. 咱们下一步对这个松树会进行怎么样的全面保护？
下面我们准备从4个方面来开始。第一个，技术观察它的生长状况，包括生长量和这个树势。第二个，那么进行这个病虫害检测，又是针对这个松菜新症病的这个预防。第三个。 就是对树干呢整个的这个进行这个体检，看看有没有生长，或者根处的处理啊，检查效果怎么样，然后呢再做这个进一步的处理。
明白。So Dr. Shu told me that their future plan for comprehensive protection of this pine tree has 3 parts. The first part is keep a close inspection of this tree to see its daily conditions and its health conditions. And the second step is to watch to prevent it from serious past damages. And the third is to see the strength of each branches and to see how the past prevention steps and procedures, how it goes, and the strength of those protections. So, 谢谢舒教授，感谢您今天的付出。
谢谢。
And it's relatively, it's so happy for us to see that this tree, this ancient tree, is growing very healthy recently, and it will welcome more guests from the world in the future. And look forward to see you here as well. So thank you for watching our live streaming today. See you next time.